Hey there, I'm Michelle Rao, and welcome to the Leadership Growth Lab, the podcast where we ditch the leadership fluff and get into what actually works. If you're a new or emerging leader trying to figure out how to lead people without losing your mind or your integrity, you're in the right place. I've spent over 30 years leading teams, making mistakes, and learning the hard way so you don't have to. This isn't about motivational posters and feel-good quotes. This is real talk, real stories, and real strategies to help you become the leader you're meant to be. Let's get into it.
Good morning. So today's topic is about how to work with a direct report who is completely adverse to taking responsibility. They deflect, they give excuses, whatever it may be, but they are very adverse to taking responsibility. I have had several direct reports that I've encountered this with. And currently there's, one that I'm working with, and she probably doesn't even realize that she is deflecting and that she is not really owning her role and responsibility. And specifically with this one, it's the communication. So I think oftentimes when you're in a role where you're having to communicate certain things and there's a misunderstanding, it's very easy to put that responsibility on the person that received the communication from you and not take ownership for your role in that communication. Because on your end, you've been very clear. You made sure that you detailed everything out, written it all out, all of that. Great. And this is how your direct report feels. So when you're getting feedback from a client that they felt the communication was not clear, and now you need to deliver that feedback to your direct report that, hey, there was some misunderstandings here, they will immediately sometimes get defensive. So how do you get them to reframe that into okay, clearly I did not communicate something clearly to them. You have to build from the ground up and make sure they understand that we are in charge of that communication. We are in charge of that client's perception of that communication. And the only way that we can do our best to ensure that we are communicating as clearly as possible is to do that active conversation with the client and ask them to repeat back what they understand. Because there are too many times, and we're talking in an event business here, but even if you're working on a different project where there's a lot of details involved, we're communicating and your team member is communicating from the point of them understanding the inside details of your organization, of their job, from their perspective. So the communication is automatically going to come from that perspective. It's not intentional. It's not that they're, trying to leave things out. But because they're coming from their own perspective and not putting themselves into the client's perspective, they're leaving out some key details. They are maybe not explaining things in a way that the client fully understands. And they need to be mindful of that in their communication, whether it be email or verbal over the phone or even in person. They need to watch the body language. They need to read between the lines of those response emails because it is imperative that they understand, that they ensure that the person receiving that information is very clear and you all are on the same page. Because otherwise comes time for delivery of the project or for the event in this case, and there's a misunderstanding. And it is always better to just own that than to put the blame on the client. The client will never be wrong. You know what they say, customer's always right. And I think what that means is that We can only control our communication. We can't control their understanding of it. So we have to go to extra lengths to ensure that that communication is clear. And coaching your team member on how to do that, it's all about the body language. It's about over communicating, and it's about asking the recipient for their understanding of what we've discussed. That's all I got for you today. We'll dive into this one a little deeper in a future story. Talk to you later.
Thanks for hanging out with me today in the Leadership Growth Lab. If this episode resonated with you, do me a favor, share it with another leader who needs to hear it. Got a question or a leadership challenge you want me to tackle? Send it my way. I want to hear from you. Until next time, keep leading yourself first, and the rest will follow.